Hello everybody, this is Bitcoin Macro and this is the second video for today guys, and this is gonna be on Iost. This is gonna be a good one guys because I do like the chart a lot of Iost. It looks really good and there are a lot of things that I would like to talk about on that coin specifically. Now, it's just another layer 1 blockchain in my opinion. Each one of them is gonna claim it's very special, okay, but you have to remember that there is a lot of competition between all those layer 1 protocols. So if we just put them all down, there are so many different layer 1 protocols that I have no idea which one wins. Some people will say their favorite protocol is going to win. Some going to say Cardano, others are going to say Ethereum. And I think like many of them are forgetting some very basic stuff. And it all comes down to building on top of layers and like having a very secure first layer. So I don't know how secure all these things are because, for example, Iost doesn't have tons of things running on it, at least compared to other blockchains, and especially Ethereum, it has pretty much nothing. Now, in terms of the token, I do believe there are certain airdrops on Iost. I think an IEO that happened on Huobi about 2 years ago, that was emoji, it has the ticker lol. I think it had to do something with Iost. I think I've heard of some others most recently, and it's just another blockchain, and because of the high fees on Ethereum, most of these things are doing fairly well, and especially stuff that are listed on, let's say, Binance US or some other exchanges that have pretty big backers. Okay, I think Iost is one of the more popular ones in terms of it's older. It didn't come right after the big bubble. It just came after everything had actually topped, but there was still lots of small caps and mid caps going higher at the time, because not all coins topped, let's say, on January 4th. There were lots of money flowing from larger coins into smaller ones, especially as the bigger ones were going down. So we're like kind of rotations that like the ones that we've seen right now. So if I look at the USD chart, it hasn't broken the all-time high, but it's now above this key high right here. But most importantly, it's forming a very nice pattern right here. Okay, this looks pretty good to me because we had something like a triangle that just broke higher. And I think this chart on CoinMarketCap doesn't do much of a favor for Iost. So I'm just going to go first look at the Iost BTC pair and then just look at the USDT pair. USDT pair has less history than Iost BTC or the Iost USD chart on CoinTrader Pro. Clearly Iost, this is when it started trading on Binance, excuse me, but clearly it had been pumping prior to that, and that's what we saw here. So sometimes, guys, you need to remember that when a token gets listed on an exchange, that's not its actual price. Like, that's not the only price it has. If it's a premier listing, if it's like an IEO or something like that, yes, that's the first price that has been traded publicly. But if it has been on other exchanges and then it got listed on Binance, you have to go and check the charts. If those exchanges are exchanges that are not TradingView, you have to go and look at that coin on CoinMarketCap. Essentially, come to CoinTrader Pro or any platform that charts CoinMarketCap data, and you can just look at that coin and get the full history. And that's the best way to move forward, in my opinion. Now, it dropped so much in Bitcoin terms. It dropped about 99%. That's massive, guys. Just imagine something like you had, let's say, at the top, you had $1,400 about, and then you were left with $15 after the drop. That's how much it dropped from that high. Clearly, it like most people didn't buy right at the top, but it's something that we need to keep in mind. because the cheaper it has become against Bitcoin, the better it actually is, because the more sellers were shaken out and the more strong hands have remained. So now this is why I really like this coin, okay, because it has this massive base right here. It was resistant for a really long time, and then it became support, okay. That became really strong support, and now we saw twice that it broke slightly, and then when it was fully reclaimed, boom, it went much higher. Now I do believe that it has more to give, because so far it has pumped about, let's say, 850%, and it could just pump a lot more. I don't know how high will it go. I do believe it could easily come right at this high. I don't know if many coins are gonna make new highs against Bitcoin this year, but we've seen a few that have done it, maybe like Engine, potentially Mana could be considered one, and that's just some that are coming to mind right now. But again, when I look at stuff like this, I do believe that it's going to be something massive, because it just shows you that everyone that was selling underneath this area, and that's a pretty big area, we're talking about potentially almost 1.5+ year longs, like maybe 20 months, and just reclaiming that, it's really massive. And that process here is just like, it's just stretching everyone, just like everyone's capitulating slowly, slow bleed, and then there are no sellers. Everyone that was about to sell has sold, and now that everyone that sold below this area that was considered smart is now at a loss. Clearly not at a loss like maybe they were in profit back then, but they are now at a loss compared to where the price is right now. And if I look at the Iost USDT on Binance, this is what it looks like. This looks like a bullish throwback, like this is the log chart. So look at this, we have this support area right here, we have a nice throwback, and now the price is on the green again after forming this really nice triangle to the upside, and then boom. So this could be very explosive. It could be a situation like potentially this thing right here. Oops, my bad. So it could just fly from here. I do believe that this is a bullish retest or the bullish throwback into a very nice uptrend, which in my opinion has more to give. Plus it's also a coin that's below $1, and people do like those coins still. Now many of these coins will be above $1 eventually, and people might not really like them as much, but it's something that you need to consider. Like those coins that were at least low Satoshi in the past, or are still low Satoshi, and maybe with low Satoshi I just mean whatever is below $1 nowadays, they could be doing fairly well, and especially when it comes to stuff that look like Iost. Because for example, another coin that looked like it, and I do believe it's going to do well, is NANO, because it did really well. Like look at this spike. So NANO had some issues, and that's why it didn't have such a clean chart. I'm just going to put a 2-day chart on so that I can show you more clearly. But if you just think about this, what happened was it had this, but for some different reasons, after like capitulating so hard in this area, it just had this blast right here. And another coin that kind of looks similar, but it's quite larger, and I also do believe it's going to do well. Now for NANO, I'm not saying it's going to do well now, I'm just saying it did fairly well in the past. The other one is Stellar. So that was resistance, big sideways movement, incredible accumulation in this zone, and I do believe that eventually it will pump very hard. So these coins are pretty special. Probably there is another coin that had a similar situation like Iost. Oh, I do remember which coin, like slightly similar, not perfectly similar, but I do believe that Zen was kind of similar right here, because look at this. That was resistance, it started chopping, then it started holding a bit, and then boom, higher. Now Zen came with a throwback in this area, and it has already gone up significantly from that massive drop. So if I put, let's say, the 12-hour chart, you can see that has rebounded fairly nicely from here. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Please like the video, subscribe, come visit my YouTube, my Telegram channel, my TradingView page, where I have all the charts on there. You can get live updates on both. And just remember that these are just my opinions alone. Just don't take this video and just go run and go all in on any of these coins. Just use proper risk management. And if you want to learn more about the stuff and the way I think and my process, you can just hire me as your coach, and I will help you improve your trading and take you a step further. I quite like people that have some experience, because it can just help you polish certain things and just improve in general. Because look, either you might pay me or you're gonna learn the hard way through the market, so you can avoid the mistakes that I've made and potentially get a few nice tools or just a different perspective compared to what other YouTubers are giving out there. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.